Hello everyone, welcome to another interview with one of our FTMO traders, and today we have Bestar from Vuštri in Kosovo. Hi Bestar.
Hello, Vijay.
All right, so
Thanks for having me.
yeah, we're happy to have you here. Guys, for those of you who don't know, FTMO is a prop trading firm, and we're looking for traders who can pass our evaluation process and then manage an FTMO account with up to $200,000. So, Bestar, I know that you've been trading with us for over 2 years now. So, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about you and what is your story.
So yeah, once again, I'm Bestar Osmani. I was born and raised in a small country, Kosovo, southeastern of Europe. As a kid, I always had a passion for computers and technology. I used to play a lot of games. And then when I grew up, I started monetizing my passion. I started programming games for iOS and Android. I started working as a freelancer on Fiverr and Upwork. And then for the first time in 2016, I heard about Forex from social media influencers and ads. The rest is history.
Okay, so it was like the classic start, you saw that, okay, there's a way to make money on the computer.
People living their best life, the stuff you see.
Yeah, the yachts, the Lambos, stuff like that. And that got you caught in. Okay. So did you start like the classic way, which I mean opening a demo account with some broker, or did you put your money right in?
I think I rushed a bit into Forex. I think I rushed a bit because in demo accounts I only traded for a week or two. I bought an online course for a few weeks and then deposited my first account in 2016. It was like 500 euros. It may sound as a small amount, but it was twice the average of a wage, of a normal wage, of an average wage in Kosovo.
Okay, so you really dived into it. You were really committed. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put this money in. Okay.
I had to save money to deposit to start the trading. Of course, I blew that account in like 3 weeks. So yeah, I blew many accounts, but I do remember that one.
Okay.
That was my
Okay, so the first account, 500 euros, blown out in 3 weeks. Now, fast forward 2023, you've been trading with us a lot. So since July 2022, you had 9 payouts. So it's pretty much a payout every month. And in total, you've made a profit with FTMO of around $83,000. So very well done. And again, you've been very consistent lately. So,
well, if you see in a way with your own money, it's much harder to keep risk management to earn big profits because you need to stick to 1 to 2% or 3% or 5% in that 500 euro account. You basically will start over trading, over risking to reach higher profits. But with FTMO, everything changed in 2021 January when I first started, because you can trade bigger numbers and it's much easier to keep your risk reward, and you don't need to be greedy because the numbers are much higher. Like that 1% in personal account, like it can be not enough for your brain, for your psychology. But in one, if you trade like 100k, 200k, 100k, 200k accounts, that 1%, 2% is pretty good amount.
Yeah.
Especially in a country in Balkans.
Okay. Now let me just get back again to your trading start. So you started with 500 euros. You blown it in a few weeks. But well, what made you like stick to trading? Because I believe that a lot of people would just say, okay, I just lost a lot of money in a very short period of time. Maybe it's just not the best way to make money, but you obviously stick to it, and it paid out in the
Yeah,
end. So what happened in between?
actually,
In between that?
it is much worse. It wasn't 3 weeks. It was two years of losing money for me.
Okay.
But what made me stick to it is because my first trade was a profit. It was USD JPY. It was over 20% gain on that one, on that 500 euro.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can win, there's if you can see wins. So yeah, the idea is. If you see yourself winning and losing, and you try to understand why you're losing, and you try to fix your problems, you will end up becoming profitable. So I knew it's a good way to earn money, but you need to sort yourself. Like, you need to sort your psychology.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stick to your uh, trading plan. You need to have a risk reward. You need to cut the greed. You you I at the beginning, I understand. If I lose, it's only my fault, not
Okay. Not
fault,
anyone else.
not everyone else. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so if I understand it correctly, when you saw that it is possible to make a winning trade, that there has to be a way, a pattern to actually, learn how to just win more than lose.
Yeah. You need to become like 51 to 49%. That's
Okay.
all you need.
All right. So when trading, are you more of a technical trader, or are you using the macros, and are you rather a fundamental trader, or how would you describing your approach to trading?
My approach to trading is I'm 99% technical trader. I'm a day trader. Most of my trades are closed within the day.
Mm-hmm.
But for me in forex, most important is psychology of how you behave after you lose a trade, or how you behave after you earn. I always say it's 99.999% psychology, is 1.111% uh, uh, technicals analysis. It doesn't matter what strategy you use. If it works for you, stick to that. Don't change. Keep on that. If that brings profit, don't don't try to mess your psychology. Just keep going. You will eventually reach bigger numbers.
Mm-hmm. Would you think
So
that mastering the psychology is the hardest part of becoming a profitable trader?
yeah, that's the hardest part. You can buy courses online. You can learn a strategy from someone else, and if it doesn't work for you, you can try another one. You can try two, three, four until you find yourself on a particular strategy. But the hardest thing is to master is your psychology. You need to stick to your risk reward, to your you need to work on yourself. Not if you have like 6 months, 1 year into trading and you're not profitable, uh, it's not about the strategy. It's about your psychology. It's because you're either over trading or over risking.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, psychology is most important in the forex.
Okay.
It took me 2 years to understand that.
All right. Now, I've noticed that you're now trading mostly the euro dollar. Is that your most of your pair that you're focusing at the most now, or do you also trade other stuff?
I'm trading euro dollar to this critical zone where dollar and euro are 1 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to find the trend. I follow the trend and I find my positions. But I trade other currencies too. I trade USD JPY, I trade GBP JPY, I trade gold on my main account mostly. But recently in FTMO, I'm trading mostly Euro USD.
Okay, so it's not that like you would be for the past couple of years you would be focusing only on your USD. You're just trading right now where you see like good opportunity. What
no, I try to. I have a couple of students here in Kosovo. I try to tell them stick to 2 or 3 pairs, so you will learn the psychology of how they behave to daily. Like you need to understand, if you work on 2 or 3 pairs mostly, you will understand better how they react on particular zones. Or that's why I try to keep few. Yeah, I try to keep few pairs to my trading plan.
Okay. You also mentioned that you have a main account, so you're trading on an FTMO account, and you also have your personal.
Yeah, but it's not 500 euros anymore.
Okay. So you have an FTMO account and you have your own personal account at the same time, right? Okay. So do you trade this exactly the same, like, or do you even copy the trades, or do you trade both of them at the same time?
To be honest, no, I don't trade at the same time. If I trade, for example, today, if I trade on my main account, I wouldn't be looking for trades on my FTMO account. I try to not overtrade, even though I have 2 accounts. I find position. But I trade differently on these accounts. I keep much strict risk reward on my main account, because if I lose money, it's my money. But FTMO allows me to. It's a good way, because it allows you, if you lose money, you won't be losing your real money. So it's easier to keep psychology to yourself. It's easier to open trades on FTMO. But yeah, I take it seriously, FTMO too. I wouldn't want to lose my account.
Okay, I get it, because if we take, for example,
the effect on you won't hurt as much as you would lose like a couple thousand euros in your main account.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's what I was about to say, because for example, if we consider the $100,000 FTMO account, right, that you buy an FTMO challenge, you pass it, you go to the FTMO account, and you make a loss of let's say $5,000 dollars. You didn't actually lose $5,000. I mean, at the worst case scenario, you violate the trading objectives and you lose only the 540 euros. So that makes sense.
It's much easier emotionally, if that makes sense. It's much easier to trade FTMO, but you need to take it serious too, because you will end up losing money anyway.
Okay. Now, how many hours a day do you dedicate to trading? Are you trading like the whole day or only in the morning?
Well, I mentioned social media influencers. They say like you can have that life with Lambos and vacation in 15 minutes a day. That's all lie.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Especially first year or first 2 years, you will have to dedicate yourself a lot more hours. But now I stay before charts a couple hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours a day. It's either Asia session 1 hour or 2 hours in New York session.
Okay, so do you have like favorite times to trade, favorite sessions?
Yeah, it depends what you trade. For example, if you trade Asiatic pairs, you would obviously want to trade the Asiatic session. But my favorite session is New York session, because there's a collision with London, Euro, and US session at the same time. That's the most volume comes in. So yeah, my favorite session would be New York session.
All right.
It's midday here in Kosovo.
Yeah, so it's perfect for you.
Central Europe time.
All right. Okay, so let's take a look at how you trade. All right, and we're back now with US dollar and JPY. So go ahead, Bistar. So how do you work with the platform?
I will show you how I mark my zones. Let's say we go back, for example, here. So I call these reaction zones, where market reacted. Support and resistance, call whatever you want. This is how I mark my zones, and I call them reaction zones, where market reacted, created resistance, and Forex 101 says what present resistance becomes future support, and present support becomes future resistance. That's one of the first things I learned in Forex trading. As you see, market reacted here, created support. I would go fast forward. So if you see, we broke this area, we created the reaction, grabbed liquidity back to sales. So let's see. One of the trades I would take would be here, but obviously I would go in lower time frames to enter a better position. Here would be a good entry point. If you go in 30 minutes or 1 hour, you would find an entry. But I won't be showing entries here because I didn't take entries on FTMO account. I'm just explaining how I mark my zones. I try to trade whatever is within this zone, buys above this area, and sells below this. Obviously, you need to look in lower time frame to see how market reacts to open positions. As you can see, we have a reaction here.
And by the way, which time frames are you using the most?
I use all of time frames. I try to mark my charts from higher time frame down to lower. I take my trades in 15 minutes and 30 minutes. For example, if you take it here, you need to find a you need to find the 30 minutes engulfing or 30 minutes engulfing or confirmation to enter sells. And stop loss would be, for example, if you go sells here, stop loss would be above this area. Take profit would be next. Most of my trades are 1-to-1 risk reward, but you can do 1-to-2, 1-to-3. It depends where the next reaction zone is. As you can see, here was a reaction zone, so I obviously recommend to take profits. Anyway, I will explain my positions in Euro USD. I'm just showing how I mark my zones. Sorry, that one. Oops.
Okay, here we are back.
Sorry, I misclicked something. Let's see, go back here. So if we go in daily, let's go fast forward. And another zone here. As you can see, a reaction zone. I call them a reaction zone, where my market react, support, and created a resistance. You can always find sells here. So let me explain until the end. And another zone. Yeah. So we have well, I think the trend is about to change here. We have support retested, and we broke support, and now it's retesting, and obviously we would aim for buys here. As I said, I trade within zones. Whatever is below this area, I would be looking for sells. If market makes support here, I would be looking for buys.
Okay. Are you, by the way, using any indicators to help?
No, I try to keep my charts clean. Okay. Only support resistance and Fibonacci levels. As you can see, you could take a trade here. As we closed the daily above this area, if you take a long position here, the same thing works in 30 minutes. If you want to take trades in 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 4 hours, same idea works. You would be looking to take profits here. So we came to the end. So pretty much this is the idea. I trade within these areas, within these zones. If market creates support above this, I enter buys, and stop loss goes below previous candles. So I aim for the next resistance or support, whatever I trade.
Okay.
I will do one trade I took on FTMO.
Also, I would have a question to these zones. So how do you know if the zone is still relevant, right? For example, if you marked the zone maybe a few days ago, how do you know if that zone is still relevant? Like, do you maybe delete the zones that you've made like during the past week, or do you just always keep them on the chart?
No, whenever I trade, the next day I clean my page, because I like to have a clear mind to find zones. Obviously, this was on daily. I don't trade like this. I just wanted to show you how I trade.
Okay, I see.
I take my trades on 30 minutes confirmations, but same idea, same principle works. Candle sprint from daily to 4 hour, 4 hour to 1 hour, 1 hour to 30 minutes. Obviously, I just wanted to explain the idea on USD JPY, because I took most of my trades on USD JPY on my main account, and I will show you the trades I took on FTMO account. Most of my trades on FTMO accounts were on Euro USD. So I will show you some trades. One of the trades I took was this one. As we can see on weekly, Euro USD closed pretty bearish, react to psychological zone 1.10. If we go on daily, this was the candle on Friday, pretty bearish candle, and we have reached support. As I told earlier, I would be looking for two scenarios. Either create a support here and enter buys when support when we have a buy confirmation. Here, stop loss would be below this area, and aim for, or the next idea would be, or the other idea would be, sell if we have a break below this area, retest it, and aim for next support. So I had to see the market reaction on Monday, Asia session. These are all the candles on Asia, 4 hours. You can see the zone. As on USD JPY, I marked the zone on daily. I'm gonna mark my zones in 4 hours. As I said, the candles print the same. These are reaction zones, if you can see here. Market reaction here, and support. Obviously, if we break this, we will be testing USD, Euro USD will be testing this area. So I see how candles print in order for me to enter a trade or ignore it. So let's see how candles print. I will go to, obviously, Asia session has low volume. As I said, you need to pick your time to trade.
Yeah, nothing happening very much.
It's Monday. It's still Sunday in the United States. It's still not midnight in Europe and London, so no volume whatsoever. So as you can see, 4 hours, 8 hours, the market didn't move. On London Open, we have the break. We have the confirmation. If we go on 1 hour, if you in London Open, this was the zone. In London Open, we had the first break in the market. You could enter sell here. Sorry. I entered sell here. Stop loss was above this area, which was the daily open candle, and aim for support down to next reaction zone, as I mentioned earlier on USD JPY. Same principle, same idea. Let's see how candles print during the day. So it's still only Euro and London open. Still, US dollar is not open yet. This is not yet. Okay, this is the first candle on New York open, so we will see much volume from now on. And this is where I hit TP. Obviously, I recommend taking full profit on market zones, like reaction zones. Sometimes, most of the times, I did my numbers. Most of the times, like 81% of the times, it will go back to hit your entry point. So I highly recommend to go full profit, to fully close your trade.
Okay. So do you always exit with 100% of the volume, or do you also close the position partially sometime?
Most of the time, let's say 80-90%, I close full, because my risk reward is usually 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. I trade most of my positions on my TP. But yes, sometimes I let the runner run. But when I close, I don't go 50% close. I go like 80-90% close. I just let minor runner.
Okay.
Because most of the times, 9 out of 10 times, I did my personal research on my trades. Most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, they will hit the entry point.
Okay.
And it's just one day. Obviously, the week is long, so you don't know how the trade will be. So let's see. And then we had some crazy moves. We had some crazy moves from the news on.
Yeah, that was the FOMC. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, FOMC, and this one, the CPI on 14th. We're still not on 14th of. This was 9th. You could, as I said, reaction zones. If you go back to 1 hour, as you can see, we retested this area. You could enter sells here as soon as this candle gave us confirmation of this reaction zone here. So a good entry for those who's listening this would be after this 30-minute close here, and stop loss will always be the same above this area. As I mentioned earlier in USD JPY, anything below this area we will be looking for sells. Any support above this area we would be looking for buys. So if you took a trade here, you would be it would be looking like something like this. Stop loss. But I didn't take this trade, so anyway.
Yeah, that's just a hypothetical one.
Just hypothetical idea. Anyway.
Yeah, I was just about to ask a quick question. When it comes to calculating a risk, do you like have a set limit like of 1% per trade, or how do you calculate the risk?
No, it depends. It depends how much I like the position. Some positions, as a trader, you won't be too sure about. You know, you have few confirmations, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to risk much. So I go 1%, 0.5%, or if you like the trade, you obviously want to risk more. I usually risk more in FTMO. I'm going to be honest, as I said earlier, because it's not my money. If I lose, that's not totally fine, but emotionally it would feel better than losing your own money.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It depends on the trader. I usually risk 1 to 3% per trade.
All right. Do you also always keep the stop loss and take profit set as you set it at the beginning of a trade, or do you sometimes move the stop loss or take profit?
Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't do first 2 years. As I said, I lost money first 2 years of me trading. When you set the stop loss here, if markets goes against you, you shouldn't be moving your stop loss. But in positive way, you can move your stop loss. For example, if you have a confirmation like this, if you have a confirmation like this, you can adjust your stop loss here or entry point above this 30-minute candle. If it closed like super bearish like this one and it's trying to break low, you can always move your stop loss. Yeah, I do move my stop loss so I can sleep, if that makes sense. I move my stop loss in profit and I sleep.
Okay. Yeah, because you're not risking
Yeah,
anything.
that's that. Yeah, you're not risking anything. That's the idea. Or you can take partials and move stop loss. But I wouldn't recommend, because I wouldn't recommend moving stop loss against you. If market starts moving against you, don't move your stop loss. That's what I did first 2 years of trading. I kept losing and losing. That's not what you should do. Respect your zones. If you made your analysis and stick to it. Don't try to change it.
All right. I think that is a very good advice at the end of this part of the interview. And now let's move on to your account matrix for a bit. Okay, and one of the final parts of the interview here in the account matrix. So this is the account matrix from your previous account. So as we can see, I think you made about $13,000 on this one. And yeah, as we can see, as I mentioned in the beginning, really not a lot of trades in the FTMO account. You always take, I'm not sure what the average might be, like maybe 10, 15 trades, something like that.
Yeah, the idea is I try to do 4 to 10% a month, or 5 to 10% a month gain on FTMO accounts. I don't take trades every day because I have my main account. I take trades sometimes I take trades on my main account, so I won't feel the need to overtrade to find positions. If I had a good trade on my main account, I wouldn't be looking to lose money on FTMO account. Or for example, if I have a good trade on FTMO account, why would I risk money? I would like to go out, enjoy my day. I wouldn't want to overtrade. So yeah, I have few trades, but I try to aim like from 5 to 10% a month in FTMO account.
Okay. Do you think it really helps you to, from over trading? If you have a set goal, like you say, okay, this month let's aim for 5%, and once you hit it, you don't really, feel the need to trade anymore. Do you think it's really helpful?
The idea, if you set goals like I will reach 10%, you will end up losing 10%. You won't be reaching that 10%. You will end up losing. You don't need to set goals on numbers. You just do your you do your trading as professional as you can be, but try to do your best. Don't chase money. That's the idea, and you will end up going from 4, 5 to 10%. Obviously, if you want to go for higher numbers, 20, 30%, 40%, you will be exposed to risk, and you will be losing your account. I'm not saying you can't do it, but of course, to earn bigger numbers, you will have to expose yourself to bigger losses. Okay. So I don't try to do that. I have my main account and my FTMO account. Sometimes I take trades on my main account. Someday I take trades on my FTMO account. I won't feel the need to overtrade to overtrade and lose money. So yeah.
All right. Now, if we could scroll down a little, please. Let's just see some of the stats. So first we see that the max day loss, you needed just about half of it. So and same goes for the max loss. You really didn't go below the initial balance.
It didn't go well on this account, but at the end I managed to earn like 13.3. The idea is these are the trades on January 13th, 27th of January. These are the trades. So the idea is I don't really much look on account metrics. I only look for these levels. I try to stick within these levels. So, but most of the time I'm good with it. So I just keep my psychology, and yeah.
Well, obviously it has been working for you very well. Okay, so let's.
The idea why I don't look to account metrics for these, because I keep my journal to myself. That's why I want to look, and these numbers will be a little bit messed because I open the trade